G'day guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Wildkard. Thank you for watching the Wildkard Rugby Show. Like, comment and subscribe. This is Super Rugby Review. This is the Highlanders versus the Fijian Drua. Yeah, the Highlanders, another impressive performance. 39 points to 3. And they're really starting to peak towards the quarterfinals. And looking quite good in a lot of their combinations in this game. The Highlanders started off the season looking very lost. Not really sure what style or how they want to go about it to win the games, how they want to go about it, pursue a strategy for their team. And in the last maybe 4 or 5 weeks or so, they really started to emphasize in a few key areas, and that really starting to tick into place after that, especially in that game against the Crusaders. And after that, the Highlanders has really just kicked into another gear. A couple key areas they really started emphasizing, and that's very noticeable, especially in this game against the Druas. And that's number one, the kicking game. It was very effective against the Crusaders, playing the game in the areas that you wanted to play, finding the space with the kicking behind, making it unpredictable, and just controlling the game with the boot. Something that the Highlanders has done really well in the last few rounds, and at least they've been trying to do in the last few rounds now. And that's the one thing that really showed and made a big difference this game over the Honduras. And number two is that physicality around the breakdowns. The Highlanders, in this game in particular against the Honduras, really stood out. Every time in defensive breakdowns, the Highlanders were flooding it 2-3 players at a time, and the Honduras were just too slow again and again and again, giving away penalties, giving away turnovers. And if you don't have that platform, if you have a slow ball at the breakdown, your attack it's going to be slow and being easily predictable and gets nullified quite easily without that forward momentum. So that's the two key areas. I thought the Highlanders did really well, and more than just this, a few weeks now. And the set piece has also been a bit of an improvement for the Highlanders as well. The scrum from the Honduras has been really strong this season, and Highlanders has really stood up this game against the Honduras scrum and really not allowing the Honduras any sort of structure out of that in terms of dominance, and also the line-out set piece as well. The Highlanders was able to disrupt that from the Honduras quite nicely, not really letting Honduras build anything with sort of structure in this game. And with that being said, the Honduras, whenever I speak critically about the Honduras, the fans are not happy. So I'm not going to talk too much about the obvious stuff, but I do think that the coaching stuff. There was a moment where I kind of was the Honduras wasn't just out there completely getting stonewalled. There were still moments where the team was able to make a little line break. There was still a lot of power, a lot of speed on the field. When they do make those line break, create those little opportunities, I just don't see the Honduras players even looking for the offload. Something that I was a little bit scratching my head a bit, and I felt like that's not because of skill issue, because we know the Honduras have that offload style, one of the best offload teams in Super Rugby. I think that's probably a preparation issues from the coaching stuff. I'm not sure how the coaching stuff is preparing the team. I just feel it's just an indicator to me that the players were not prepared properly going to this game. It's almost like they made a line break, made a small half break, and their own teammates are not even expecting this to happen. So yeah, something like that. I'm not sure how the coaching stuff is going. What's going on behind the scenes, but something like that is a bit of an indicator to me that the coaches are probably not preparing the players as well as they should be going into this game. With that being said, the Super Rugby ladder all-important final week coming up next week, and the Honduras will be having the home advantage. The team plays a lot better at home than they are at away, but it's not going to be a walkover. It's going to be the Melbourne Rebels, a team they lost early in the season in that crazy match where 2 players got sent off for the Honduras. But this will be a grudge match against the Rebels, and I think this will be a very exciting match. And the good news, I think, maybe for the Honduras is that the Rebels have already secured a spot in the top 8. So even if they lose, they're not going to be knocked out. So Honduras might have that in their favor, because we know the Rebels are really poor when it comes to this mental toughness sort of stuff, and they've they had a pretty good a nice little run in the middle of the season, and now they've just completely gone down the drain once again. So this next weekend, It's not a guarantee win for the Endurers, but I think the Rebels probably wouldn't mind. They probably don't care about losing, so that could be a bit of a mental edge that the Endurers needs to win the game next week. If they lose next week, then it's going to be really... They might actually get eliminated because the Crusaders will be playing them Moana Pacifica. And yeah, at home at Christchurch, so Crusaders most likely going to win this one. And if Crusaders wins this, and should the Endura fails to beat the Melbourne Rebels, it's just going to be... Yeah, Crusaders going to be in the top 8. Yeah, it's the bottom of the ladder is really a bit of a mixed pool of it's a bit of a mess down there. Who's going to make it in the top 8? The Western Force also looks like they could be close to making it in the top 8, but they actually can't because they have as long as the Fijian Drua wins, the Western Force really can't make it into the finals. Force will be hosting the Brumbies at home. Again, this, if the Endurers lost and Crusaders win, the Western Force has a chance to win if they beat the Brumbies at home. And they did it last year because the Brumbies put on like the C team. So if the Brumbies decide to do that again, put on the C team against the Western Force because, nobody wants to fly, 3 hours or whatever, 6 hours or however long the flight is to Perth, then we could see that the Western Force actually go through if the Endurers don't beat the Rebels. So yeah, there's a little bit of interesting turn of events going into the finals. But the fate of the Endurers truly in their own hands. So let's have a look at the stats of the game. 4 tries to 0 for the Highlanders, 465 run meters to 312 for the Fijian Drua. Like I said, this run meter is just being 400 meters, 300 meters every week, as opposed to 700 to 800 last year. Something that it's very surprising to me how the Endurers run meters has really declined over time, and the turnovers for the Highlanders only 7. Yeah, really good at the breakdown. Like I said, 15 turnovers considered for the Endurers, 100 tackles made, 21 missed tackles for the Endurers, 162 tackles made, 25 missed tackles for the Highlanders. So the Endurers did have plenty of... Well, hang on. Let's just refresh that. 228 tackles for the Highlanders, 28 missed tackles, 113 for the Endurers, 21 missed tackles. So plenty of opportunities for the Endurers to attack, but wasn't able to get through, just running into a brick wall. And this is what I was talking about. The kicking game from the Highlanders, 40. This has to be the most amount of kicks done for one team in the entire season. I don't think I've seen one more than 40 this season. I mean, the kicking game is starting to ramp up a little bit more at the tail end as the competition gets tighter and tighter. But still, I haven't seen a 40. I don't think I've seen a 40 this year at all. This might be the first time. 25 kicks for Endurers, and this is just the dominance, the control of the Highlanders pinging the Endurers in the territory that they want them to play. Two missed kicks, 1 conversion, 1 penalty goal for the Highlanders, 1 drop goal, and the Endurers just 1 penalty. Again, I don't know how the coaches are prepping the players. This is what I'm talking about. The penalty was kicked when the Endurers was 18 points down. They had a penalty. They should have gone for the line out for the try, because if you want to win the game, you're not going to win 18 points down kicking 3 points. You need to get the try. And just really, really bad decision making. Like, honestly, I don't know what the coaches are doing. Telling the players that should be the decision, that should be the way to go. Kicking penalties so far behind. It's just, it's just really not. It's not a like mentally. You're not showing your team confidence when you don't back yourselves in those situations. 4 lineouts for the Highlanders, 17 for the Endurers. Scrum 8 for the Highlanders, 4 for the Endurers. No losses. And finally, the penalty count. Highlanders considered 12 penalties. This could be the one thing that's kind of like a bit of a shining light for the Endurers. 9 penalties conceded and no penalty, and 1 yellow card for the Endurers. And what was the yellow card for? Was it a high shot? I can't even remember. But yeah, this was a much better performance from the Endurers. Needs to be put forward if they want to beat the Melbourne Rebels next week, albeit at home. Not a guarantee definitely not a guarantee. But yeah. Anyway, let's quickly go through the points. Not too much to say in this game, to be really frank. 18 minutes into the game, the Highlanders get them first try on the ball. It was a bit of an arm wrestle for the first 15 minutes or so. Naraki gets the first try, a nice little more from Highlanders, and then just good hands all the way to the corner. Naraki dunks the ball in, 7 points to 0. 24 minutes in, a penalty after 6 faces inside the Fijian 22. Highlanders says, yep, we'll take the 3, 10 points to 0. 29 minutes into the game, another nice run from Naraki, cuts through the defense. Nice little passes, offload to Nibkins, and he gets the try, 15 points to 0 to the Highlanders. 32 minutes into the game, another penalty against the Honduras. Highlanders wants to kick 3. They missed this one. 35 minutes into the game, another penalty immediately given away at the breakdown for the Highlanders. Again, they take another option, shot at the goal, 18 points to 0, and that's the score at half time. Second half, the Honduras came out with a lot of urgency, which is really good to see. They went for they got a penalty, they went for the line out, and I thought this was going to be a time where the Honduras could turn it around because they didn't take the 3 points. They went for the line out. 100% right decision. It didn't work. It literally only had maybe like 2 or 3 faces after the line out. There was another penalty, and the Honduras said, that's enough. We'll take the 3. Big mistake. It was 18 points down, taking 3. It's literally like putting dumping a cup of water into the ocean. They get that 3 points, but 18 points to 3 really didn't make much of a difference and lost all that little bit of momentum they had gained for themselves in that first 5 minutes or so, 4 minutes or so. 49 minutes into the game, Highlanders another penalty inside Fijian 22. They tap and go and just, nicely shift the ball out wide. Just draw the defenders in and then shift the ball out wide. Naraki gets his second try on the ball, 25 points to 3. 58 minutes into the game, a nice little kick pass from Gilbert to Nadawai down the sideline. And then he popped the ball in field to his teammate and the ball was popped back out to Tava Nawai, and then he goes in for that try. Did I say Nadawai? I mean Nareki. Sorry, Nareki. I think I called him Nadawai. It's Nareki that scored a try before this one. But this last try is this one. Yeah, anyway, it's Nareki, not Nadawai. I've got that wrong. Anyway, moving on. Caleb Muntz made his return, which is good to see. Interestingly, they didn't put him at 10. They still had Armstrong, Ravula at 10. And Muntz was looked like playing 12 or something, or maybe a fullback. But wasn't, good to see him back. But I wasn't sure why the coaches had him not playing his preferred position at a fly half jersey. So yeah, anyway, the game went on. 76 minutes was the final try. The Highlanders scored. The Honduras was just shifting the ball left to right, not going forward at all. And the Brighton just read the passes perfectly. Intercept, ran 50 meters, try time. 39 points to 3. That was the final. Oh yeah, that's right. There was a deliberate knock on in the last minute of the game to the fullback from the Honduras, and it was just one of those things. I think he desperately tried to get an intercept try for his team, and he knocked it on. There was just that yellow card, and really nothing of it. 39 points to 3. Really good performance by Landers. Yeah. Anyway, looking forward to the big grudge match next week, Honduras versus the Rebels. And other than that, guys, thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. The All Blacks team announcement is coming up, I think. And we're going to have to do a little bit of prediction ourselves going to next week. So watch out for that. And thanks for watching. And see you guys later. Cheers.